Huda, a light in every home. And when the darkness seems so strong and you just can't go on, pray for your helping hand. You'll see the sun will rise again. You'll find the strength to carry on up to heaven where you belong. 'Cause life is but a journey for us all.
Assalamu alaikum, dear viewers, and welcome to your new series, Building a Better Future. My name is Malik Evangelatos. I'm going to be your host. I know it's a long Greek and Arabic name, so you're going to have to get used to it. And I'm here with a very, very special guest. He is here all the way from Denver, Colorado. He is the Imam of the Colorado Muslim Society, serving over 15,000 Muslims in the Denver metropolitan area. You've seen him on The Righteous Companions. You've seen him on The Inevitable Journey. You've seen him on many programs, too many to list. Ramadan is Your Second Chance, Stories of Hajj. You've seen him on www.huda.tv, and I encourage you to join our fan club so you can watch more of his old programs. You can check him out on YouTube, Islamway71, and of course, I think you know who I'm talking about by now, his own website, www.karimabuzaid.com. Our program, How to Build a Better Future. Where did we start? On the national level, on a community level, in our own family? How about the children? We're talking about the next generation. You're going to hear me say that phrase a lot, the next generation. I'm not talking about Star Trek. We're talking about how to build a generation of strong and pious Muslims. How can we do that? What are our tools? Bubblegum, Mickey Mouse, Starbucks, American movies, foreign films. Is this going to produce a good generation of Muslims? I don't think so. I think we all know our tools are what? The Quran and Sunnah. But still, what kind of attributes should we put into our children? We need help, we need advice, we need counsel. Well, this is why we bring the expert from Colorado to tell us what do we need to do. Sheikh Karim, thank you so much for being here. Before we get started, let me tell you, it's truly an honor to be here. It's a pleasure to present your show, How to Build a Better Future. You have 30 episodes to teach us how to build a better future. Ready, set, go.
Jazakallah khair, Malik. May Allah reward you. May Allah reward you, and may Allah grant us sincerity.
Thank you so much.
Something that I beg Allah for at the beginning of every show, that because if we have it, then it will get to their hearts. And because this subject is about hope, we're going to talk about hope in the Ummah, and something that I do always ask a lot of people who accept Islam, why did you become a Muslim? And I heard a very special answer from one of the sisters after she read the Quran for 2 years, and I asked her, why did you accept Islam, sister, after reading the Quran for 2 years? She said, the Quran gave me hope. Hope in a better life here, and hope in the next life. And that's what we want. This show is about building a better future. Allah has a promise for us, Malik, for a better future. In a verse in Surah An-Nur, Surah number 25, verse number 55. And I call upon the viewers to please read that verse, but read it with your heart. Here it is. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. وعد الله الذين آمنوا منكم وعملوا الصالحات ليستخلفنهم في الأرض كما استخلف الذين من قبلهم وليمكنن لهم دينهم الذي ارتضى لهم وليبدلنهم من بعد خوفهم أمنا يعبدونني لا يشركون بي شيئا ومن كفر بعد ذلك فأولئك هم الفاسقون. Allah has promised those from amongst you, provided that they believe and they do righteous deeds, that He will certainly grant them succession in the earth, like He did grant the nations before us. Bani Israel, and our righteous companions. And He will grant them the opportunity to practice the religion that which He chosen for them, which is Islam, freely, without being intimidated. And He will exchange their anxiety and fear with safety and security, provided that they worship Me alone and they do not commit shirk. A promise. And we know Malik, Allah never breaks His promise. Breaking the promise is a mark of imperfection. And Subhana, He's above that. Allah is above that, breaking His promise. So the promise is there. The fact that we are not empowered, that means we have to fulfill our part of the bargain, of the deal.
What do you mean by empowered, Sheikh? It's a broad word.
It's all about spreading Tawheed in earth. It's all about helping humanity. Malik, empowerment. Empowerment is not about having a better home, a better house, a better car. No. Empowerment is about helping humanity to believe in Allah. الَّذِينَ إِن مَكَّنَّاهُمْ فِي الْأَرْضِ. Those people whom, if we empower them in earth, أَقَامُوا الصَّلَاةِ, they establish the salah, they will pray. وَآتَوُا الزَّكَاةِ, they will pay the zakah. وَأَمَرُوا بِالْمَعْرُوفِ, they enjoin what is good. وَنَهَوْا عَنِ الْمُنْكَرِ, and they forbid what is evil. The sole fruit of empowerment in earth, Malik, is to deliver Islam to humanity.
Because some people might think the fruits of this empowerment would think maybe, okay, to establish myself in the land, to accumulate wealth, to drive a nice car. This is not the empowerment that you're talking about.
No.
This is not the empowerment for Muslims.
No.
We're trying to spread Tawheed.
Our messenger, before he died, in that farewell sermon, he stood up on the top of mountain of Arafah and he said, بَلِّغُوا عَنِّي وَلَوْ آيَةً. Convey after me even a verse. Deliver Islam. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala praises this ummah in the Quran, Malik. كنتم خير أمة أخرجت للناس. You are the best ummah, Muslims. You are wallahi the best ummah. Wallahi you are. You're the only people who say La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah in the face of this earth. كنتم خير أمة أخرجت للناس. Why? تأمرون بالمعروف وتنهون عن المنكر. You enjoin what is good, you forbid what is evil. وتؤمنون بالله, and you believe in Allah. Remember, Malik, all the previous nations, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala kept sending them prophets and messengers to remind them. Our messenger was marked to be the seal. That means Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala entrusted this ummah to deliver His deen to humanity until the day of resurrection. وقال صلى الله عليه وسلم لا تزال طائفة من أمتي ظاهرين على الحق إلى يوم القيامة. A group of my ummah will always hold the truth, will always hold that light until the day of resurrection. So we're talking about empowerment for this, to deliver Islam to humanity. People, Malik, we live in the West. Wallahi, people are thirsty for Islam. People are tired of their ways. They are looking for the alternative.
We know the why now, Sheikh, but how? How can we reach this goal?
Look, the context of this verse in Surah An-Nur, again, verse number 55. Surah number 25. I want the brothers and sisters to look at the context of that verse. But from verse number 46 all the way to verse number 57, it talks about obeying Allah and His Messenger.
Obedience is the how.
How?
The road to success.
The road to success is obedience to Allah, of Allah and His Messenger. The Muslims, Malik, in the Battle of Badr, were 3 Kafirs, non-Muslims, to 1. But they were obedient to Allah and His Messenger. Allah gave them victory. Allah granted them victory. In the Battle of Uhud, Because they disobeyed one command, they lost it. After they have actually won at the beginning of the battle. So, الطاعة is the way to do it.
That's it.
Obeying Allah and His Messenger is the way to do it. I don't want to count out a lot of brothers and sisters in the Ummah who are obedient to Allah and His Messenger. There are a lot of individuals in the Ummah who qualify for empowerment, Ya Malik.
What about collectively?
But it has to be done collectively.
We're not there.
We're not there.
And we can't get there. We need the next generation.
We need a number of people.
What's the attribute of the next generation going to be? We have to go to break now. But what should be, we'll talk about how can we raise our children. What kind of qualities do we want to give them if in the next segment, inshallah.
Inshallah, Malik.
Okay, stay tuned. You don't want to miss the next segment of our new program, your new program, Building a Better Future. Stay tuned. Assalamu alaikum.
Up to heaven, heaven where I belong.
In this program, inshallah, we'll be discussing the major sins in Islam, the way that the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ had taught us. Why the neighbor does not care about their neighbor anymore? Why does the father does not care about the son anymore? Why does the mother does not care about her daughter anymore? There's major sins that we need to be very far away in our lives, so we could get the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, obtain the pleasure of Allah Azza wa Jal. As long as we commit those major sins, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would not be too pleased from us. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will punish those who commit those major sins. Keep away from what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had forbidden, and you'll be the closest worshipper to Allah Azza wa Jal. It is our duty in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to keep away from what Allah Azza wa Jal had forbidden. As when we commit those sins, especially those major sins, remember you are displeasing your Lord, and you are bringing upon the curse and the anger of your Lord upon you.
Up to heaven, heaven where I belong.
Welcome back, you guys, and thank you for staying with us to watching your program, your new program, How to Build a Better Future with Imam Karim Abu Zaid. Sheikh Karim, we were talking about in the first segment, we're talking about empowerment, obedience, these type of things. And you said that some individuals qualify, but not collectively as a whole. So where do we go from here?
Alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah, wa ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, wahdahu la sharika lah, wa ashhadu anna sayyidana wa nabiyyana Muhammadan abdullahi wa rasul. Malik, we said that there is a promise that Allah holds for us. If we fulfill our part of the deal, which is believing in Allah and doing righteous deeds, which is translated into obedience.
Okay.
إنما كان قول المؤمنين إذا دعوا إلى الله ورسوله ليحكم بينهم أن يقولوا سمعنا وأطعنا. The attitude of believers when it comes to the command of Allah and His Messenger, they say we hear and we obey. If we activate that law, we hear and we obey, then we will receive the promise. Yes, there are individuals in the Ummah. We don't want to count them out.
We can't count them
out. No,
out.
we can't. Because you know what? They are the people who are holding the flame, the little candle. And we don't want that candle to die. There are individuals in the Ummah who qualify to be empowered. And I'm telling you, they are empowered, but in their circle, because of their obedience to Allah and His Messenger. وَقَالُوا كُونُوا هُودًا أَوْ نَصَارَى تَهْتَدُوا قُلْ بَلْ مِلَّةَ إِبْرَاهِيمَ حَنِيفًا وَمَا كَانَ مِنَ الْمُشْرِكِينَ. They will tell you, be Christian and a Jew, you will be guided. Tell them, no, I will follow the way of Ibrahim alayhi salam, which is now the way of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, is the best way. قُولُوا, say to them, آمنا بالله, we believe in Allah and what was revealed to us and what was revealed to Ibrahim, Ismail, Isaac, Jacob, and the Asbat, the 12
tribes,
And what Musa, وَمَا أُوتِيَ مُوسَى وَعِيسَى, Musa and Isa were given from Allah. وَمَا أُوتِيَ النَّبِيُّونَ مِنْ رَبِّهِمْ, and all the rest of the prophets were given of revelation. لَا نُفَرِّقُ بَيْنَ أَحَدٍ مِّنْهُمْ, we place no distinction between any of them. وَنَحْنُ لَهُ مُسْلِمُونَ. Look at this. فَإِنْ آمَنُوا بِمِثْلِ مَا آمَنْتُمْ بِهِ فَقَدِ اهْتَدَوْا وَإِنْ تَوَلَّوْا فَإِنَّمَا هُمْ فِي شِقَاقٍ فَسَيَكْفِيكَهُمُ اللَّهُ. If they believe in that which you believe in, they are guided. If they refuse, they are the one who are straying. And Allah will suffice you. Allah will empower you. So there are individuals in the ummah who are empowered in their circle. But to get the ummah empowered, we must produce a new generation.
We need a new generation. How can we bring
for
that
this
about?
to happen collectively? Quickly, before how we go about doing this, Malik, very quickly, we have an example in the Quran. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala spoke about the children of Israel, they were oppressed in Egypt. Their children, the newborn, were killed. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the one, if He wants something to be, all what He has to do is be, commands it to be, and it will be. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala spoke about re-empowering them in earth again, وَنُرِيدُ أَن نَمُنَّ عَلَى الَّذِينَ اسْتُضْعِفُوا فِي الْأَرْضِ وَنَجْعَلَهُمْ أَئِمَّةً وَنَجْعَلَهُمُ الْوَارِثِينَ, and we want to empower those again. وَنُمَكِّنَ لَهُمْ فِي الْأَرْضِ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala spoke about the birth of Musa. وَأَوْحَيْنَا إِلَىٰ أُمِّ مُوسَى أَنْ أَرْضِعِيهِ. Bring up Musa for me. Malik, it's going to take almost 40 years.
Musa was their guide. He was the next generation.
But that's the next generation.
Okay.
That's what we need to think as Muslims.
Okay.
So I tell all these brothers and sisters who are devoted, focus on the next generation.
Okay.
Focus on the next generation. If you want to do a collective empowerment of the ummah, we must bring forth another generation that says we hear and we obey.
Okay. If we're talking about children, then obviously, Sheikh, we're going to have to talk about husbands, wives, mothers, fathers, schools, homes, masjid, the institutions that we can cultivate a new generation. This is a really big topic. Do you got the energy to cover all this ground?
Inshallah. Bi'idhnillah, Malik.
Okay.
Inshallah. But before, we must figure out what we want to instill in that generation.
We want them to be doctors, engineers. That's the most important, Sheikh?
No.
Why?
No, no, Malik.
That's our status quo.
You see, Malik, subhanAllah, when they carry us up after we die, look at this. When they carry us on their shoulder and they go dig a hole in the ground and place us there and they do like this, make sure that we do not come out, then we get two angels asking us, who is your Lord? What is your deen? What is your religion? What do you say about the man who sent you? Do those two angels ask you plus 1 + 1 equal what? They ask you in math?
No,
they ask you in science? They ask, no.
Or how beautiful your wife was, or how much money you had, or what car you drove?
No. Who is your Lord? What is your deen? What do you say about the man who was sent to you? Yes, we want doctors in the ummah. Don't please. We want engineers. Yes, but not at the expense of these qualities that we're looking for. We want people who love Allah and His Messenger. People who have sincerity. People who know Tawheed. Allah is the Rabb. Allah is the Creator, the Sustainer, the Provider. Allah has the most beautiful names and the most lofty attributes. Now He qualifies.
Who's going to teach the children this, Sheikh? The school teacher?
We have the mother, father, we have the masjid, we have the school, we have all of this. We're going to talk about all these institutions that must contribute to the production of that next generation. But again, we want that generation to have all these beautiful qualities, Malik. Ikhlas, sincerity, truthfulness. We want them to have taqwa. We want them to have patience. We want them to have ihsan. We want them to be lovers of the hereafter. And we have to talk about these qualities and attributes in our series, inshallah. Inshallah, before we talk about getting into the institutions that must contribute to the production of that generation.
It takes two to make a baby, Sheikh. So for the viewers that aren't married, can you guide us a little bit and give us a criteria and a breakdown?
We're going to talk about the criteria for a wife.
She should be beautiful, have a green card, and drive a nice car.
They tell you the problem. No, absolutely not. Come on. No, come on, man. No. They ask you this question, Malik. They tell you this. Ask an average youth in the ummah now, why do you want to marry? They will stutter.
Not quite sure.
What do you mean? they tell me, what do you mean? What do you mean? شوف عمر ibn Khattab رضي الله عنه answered this, and this is the right answer. He said this, كما عند ابن أبي الدنيا. He said this, Wallahi, by Allah, I force myself to marriage in order to have an offspring who will say La ilaha illallah. That is why we get married, because we want to produce the next generation who will carry on the banner of Islam after us, our legacy.
This is the biggest contribution we can make. It's better than building masjids, or the contributions we need to make is our children.
Is our children. Well, building masjid is needed.
Yeah.
You see,
of course.
In order to produce that generation, Malik,
yes,
there are 3 institutions. The father and the mother, meaning the Muslim home.
Okay.
One, the Muslim home, father and mother.
Okay.
Now we have to talk about the qualities, the attributes of the mother first.
Okay.
Because she is the womb. She is the earth. The mother is the earth. The cornerstone of the family.
The mother.
The mother.
Okay.
That is why in the Quran Allah given them a whole surah, one of the longest. An-Nisa, the women. Talked about the rights. Talked about the way that they should be dressed. Talked about the way that they should walk. Talked about the way that they should speak. Allah giving you a lot of interest, sisters. Don't give up the religion of Islam and follow a hearsay talk. Sisters, go back to your religion. Go back to your deen. The brothers and sisters in Islam, Wallahi Malik, again I tell you, Rasul sallallahu alayhi wa sallam in the battle of Uhud told 50 companions not to leave their post. Stand on the top of that mountain, not to leave your post. Guard our back. Guard our back. 40 of them decided to come down. The whole ummah lost. The whole army lost after they were winning. Our sisters did this, Malik.
We're in the battlefield of life, and the sisters guard our back. That's what you're saying.
Yes.
Okay.
They left their post.
Okay.
Their post is the family.
Okay.
Their post is the children. Their post is the house. Again, don't think I'm backward. Please fulfill your priorities at home and then go outside.
And it's better to bring an educated one as well to teach the children.
To teach the children. Then we want to talk about the masjid, the second institution.
Okay.
Make the masjid the first place your child goes to after home. When you take your son out of the house, make the first place where they go to is the masjid. But now we have to be careful. What kind of a masjid? Do they follow the sunnah or not?
Okay.
Is the imam teaching the proper creed or not?
Okay.
Is he teaching the hadith or not? Is he using weak hadith or not?
Okay.
You as a father, that is your responsibility.
This is our role.
Yes,
Okay.
our role. Then comes in another very, very vital and important institution, which is the school. We need this too. An Islamic school or homeschooling.
Okay, one of the two.
One of the two.
Okay.
But public school, the chances are very, 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 very low for your child to be spared from the fitna of the public schools.
Okay, this is a danger we have to take care of.
Right.
To take advantage of. Sheikh, I think this is a big topic. I hope we really benefit all the Muslims watching. It's a noble topic, and I hope that we can tackle it. And I know, inshallah, I have faith that you're going to give us a lot of insight. You are advisor and counselor. You guys stay tuned. Don't go away. You don't want to miss this series, How to Build a Better Future. It's talking about you guys, parents, future parents, mothers, fathers, husbands and wives. If you want to contribute to a Muslim society, these are our tools, the Quran and the Sunnah, and our guide through that process is Imam Karim Abu Zaid, and I certainly hope you stay tuned for the next 29 episodes of your new program, Building a Better Future. Until next time, we leave you in the care of Allah. Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
And when the darkness seems so strong and you just can't go on, pray for your helping hand. You'll see the sun will rise again. You'll find the strength to carry on up to heaven where you belong. 'Cause life is but a journey for us all. We cry, we laugh, we run, sometimes we fall. But through it all, always recall, God never gives a burden too tall.